They do get Shane Greene. They give up a couple of prospects. One of those prospects, Robbie Ray, who they got a year ago in the Doug Fister trade. But when you look at Greene and you look at that Tigers staff, if Scherzer is certainly gone, I mean, he's a guy they needed to get. They had to get somebody into that rotation. And here's a guy who won't be at the top, certainly, but he's a solid guy in the middle. Yeah, and it's a reflection on really their trade from last year, too, when they traded for Robbie Ray and gave up Doug Fister. And Ray really didn't perform. And so there's enough question marks around him to wonder if he's ready. So let's go ahead and see if you can find yourself a guy. And that cost him Robbie Ray, but you're hoping that at least, well, that deal doesn't look good right now. You're hoping that Shane Greene can replace some of those innings that eventually that Doug Fister gave up, and you're hoping that Robbie Ray would end up. So this is almost like a do-over. We don't see many of these trades from Dave Dombrowski. He is really one of the finest GMs out there. So I think this is a kind of a make-up deal, trying to work through this, and I expect Greene to actually pitch well for them in that park. I think it says something about Dombrowski, though, the fact that he goes out, he makes this deal, he gets Robbie Ray, he has him for a year. Obviously, it didn't work out in that year. Ray struggled, and rather than not admit to a mistake, he says, "All right, you know what? We didn't get what we thought we were going to get. Let's move him on." When you look at Ray, is he a guy that maybe is going to end up being better suited in a bullpen? He has the 2 pitches, but he hasn't added that third pitch. Hasn't added the third pitch. It is something that you can, as a left-hander, get by with a good fastball changeup combination. I think overall he'll be better. The reports of the scouts that I've spoken to still speak highly of him. He's can be a mid-90s fastball. He still touched 96, 97 in the Arizona Fall League. So you start to see some of that velocity come back. You can always put him in the bullpen, and I think he'll be a good left-handed reliever someday if he fails as a starter. But I think when you look at it from Arizona's standpoint, you look at him and all right, that young starter, I'd like to give him another shot. Maybe he starts out in AAA, moves to the National League, gets his confidence back.